The sunlight hits the bathroom tile like a sudden sharp rebuke, and I'm staring at a stranger in a vintage flannel fluke. The glass is spider web right where I let the anger fly. 1,000 jagged pieces of a bloodshot lonely eye. I try to find the me that used to smile when you were near, but the fractures in the silver make the vision disappear. I'm leaning on the porcelain, waiting for the haze to clear, but the only thing that's certain is that you aren't here. And it's a cracked mirror morning, a shattered point of view. Everything I'm seeing is a broken shade of you. I'm picking up the splinters of the girl I used to be, while the distortions in the glass are making fun of me. I can't glue the image back, I can't mend the fall lines. I'm just a ghost of us inside these hollow bathroom walls. Yeah, the light is coming in, but the reflection's mourning on this cracked mirror morning. There's a toothbrush in the holder that I haven't moved away, like a relic from a temple that has fallen to decay. The steam from the shower tries to hide the jagged scars, but it only makes me wonder just how far away you are. I'm applying lipstick to a mouth I don't recognize, in a face that's built of rumors and exhausted alibis. They say that 7 years of bad luck is the price you have to pay, but I think I spent a century in the minute you walked away. I'm afraid to touch the surface, afraid to feel the sting of the vulnerability that losing you can bring. Girl I used to be, while the distortions in the glass are making fun of me. I can't glue the image back, I can't mend the fall lines. I'm just a ghost of us inside these hollow bathroom walls. Yeah, the light is coming in, but the reflection's mourning on this cracked mirror morning. I'll just close my I'm setting up the lighting for a melodrama sky, catching every glimmer in my oversaturated eye. I've got the camera on a dolly, moving slow and wide, tracing all the hollow hills where I used to hide. The script is just a monologue of everything you said, while I'm color grading sorrow in shades of blue and red. The aperture is open, letting in the glare, exposing all the emptiness that's hanging in the air. And this is the cinematography of a cry, a high-def eulogy for a beautiful lie. I'm framing up the starts to whisper your fading name. The focus is soft, but the edges are sharp. Playing sad melodies on a broken heart. It's a masterpiece of misery, pixel perfect pain. The cinematography of tears in the rain. I'm looping the moment that you turned your back to go, in grainy black and white at 24 frames slow. There's a shadow on the porch where the laughter used to be. Now I'm editing the ghost of who you saw in me. I folded in the thunder matches, shaking up my breath, directing my own version of a romantic death. Cut to the bedroom, the sheets are cold and white. Bend to the window, extinguish every light. It's a stark composition, beautifully bleak, where the silence is the only thing allowed to speak. Yeah, this is a cinematography of a cry, a high-def eulogy for a beautiful lie. I'm framing up the heartbreak in a tight crop frame, until the static starts to whisper your fading name. The focus is soft, but the edges are sharp. Playing sad melodies on a broken heart. It's a masterpiece of misery, pixel perfect pain. The cinematography of tears in the rain. The screen turns to gray, the film starts to melt, processing the damage of everything I felt. Wrap it up, burn the set, director's final regret. Cinematography of a crying yet. I'm sitting on a linoleum under the fluorescent hum, watching the condensation drip from a glass of cheap rum. You didn't leave a mess, you didn't leave a stain, just a transparent kind of quiet that's driving me insane. There's no smoke in the air, no static on the line. I can see the horizon and it's bitterly fine. I used to wish for honesty, for the unvarnished view, but now the vision's perfect and it's missing you. And it's a crystal clear heartbreak, a diamond cut pain. No fog on the windows, no mist in the rain. I can see every fault line, every fracture and flaw, in a resolution sharper than I ever saw. There's no mystery left, no shadows to hide, just a clinical coldness of being denied. Yeah, the light's coming through and it's tearing me apart in this vivid, pristine, crystal clear heart. The dust on your bookshelf is stark and it's white. Every molecule's heavy in this overlit night. I thought grief was a blur, a smudge on the lens, but I can see exactly where the fantasy ends. The silence is pure, it's high definition, a surgical cut made with perfect precision. It's ice in my chest, jagged and sheer. The truth is a spectrum I'm forced to hear. No comforting lies, no soft focus glow, just everything I didn't wanna know. crystal clear heartbreak, a diamond cut pain. No fog on the windows, no mist in the rain. I can see every fault line, every fracture and flaw, and a resolution sharper than I ever saw. There's no mystery left, no shadows to hide, just the clinical coldness of being denied. Yeah, the light's coming through and it's tearing me apart in this vivid, pristine, crystal clear heart. Transparent, divine, everything's aligned, but empty inside, glaring bright. Too much light, crystal clear, nowhere to run. Goodbye. I'm sitting in the edit suite of my fragmented mind, scrubbing through the footage of the years we left behind. In the theatrical release, we just faded out to black, a clean and quiet exit with no way of looking back. But I've got the raw files, the unfiltered and the long, the alternate endings where we didn't go so wrong. I'm zooming in on micro expressions in your tired eyes, counting all the frames between the truth and the disguise. And I'm watching the director's cut of the end, where I see the cracks before the heartbeat starts to bend. It's 40 minutes longer and it's heavy with regret, full of deleted scenes that I haven't finished yet. The dialogue is sharper and the lighting's bitter cold, a tragedy in slow-mo that's painful to behold. Yeah, the world saw the credits, but I'm still stuck in the blend of the director's cut of the end. There's a shot of you at breakfast, looking past my shoulder. I didn't notice then that the room was getting older. In the extended version, I can hear the silent scream, the unraveling seams of our technicolor dream. I'm re-recording Foley, the sound of breaking glass, trying to make the meaning stay and let the sorrow pass. In this version I stay, in this version you fight, but the film is burned and exposed to the light. I'm looping the moment your hand left the door, until the pixels bleed and I can't see anymore. Yeah, I'm watching the director's cut of the end, where I see the cracks before the heartbeat starts to bend. It's 40 minutes longer and it's heavy with regret, full of deleted scenes that I haven't finished yet. The dialogue is sharper and the lighting's bitter cold, a tragedy in slow-mo that's painful to behold. Yeah, the world saw the credits, but I'm still stuck in the blend of the director's cut of the end. Yeah, I'm watching the director's cut of the end, where I see the cracks before the heartbeat starts to bend. It's 40 minutes longer and it's heavy with regret, full of deleted scenes that I haven't finished yet. The dialogue is sharper and the lighting's bitter cold, tragedy in slow-mo that's painful to behold. Yeah, the world saw the credits, but I'm still stuck in the blend of the director's cut of the end. Fades to black as cut of the end. I'm sitting in the empty row as the house lights start to dim, watching the scrolling names of a life that belonged to him. The popcorn's cold, the screen is white, the aisle is swept and clean, but I'm still replaying every deleted scene. I thought we were the leading roles, a technicolor romance, but I was just a background extra, waiting for a chance. The orchestra is swelling with a melancholy tune, and I'm stepping out into the glare, the afternoon. And these are the end credits of a crush, the quiet after the adrenaline rush. I'm reading the fine print of why we didn't work, seeing the shadows where the loneliness will lurk. The story didn't land, the climax never came, just a silent movie and a fading name. Roll the film, baby, set the spirit free. These are the end credits of you and me. I saw you in the lobby with your hand around her waist, a plot twist that I never thought I'd have to taste. My dialogue was stilted, I missed my cues again, editing out the moments where I wish we could be friends. The projection is still sleeping, the reels are spinning fast, and I'm learning how to leave the end in the past. No sequel in the works, no reboot on the way, just the gray exhaustion of another Tuesday. I'm tearing up the ticket, throwing it away. In the final scene, I've nothing left to say. The story didn't land, the climax never came, just a silent movie and a fading name. Roll the film, baby, set the spirit free. These are the end credits of you and me. The end. Screen fades to black. Don't look back, just leave the theater. Walk into the night without him. End credits, crushes over the I'm sitting on the velvet sofa we bought for our first place, tracing the woven patterns where I can't find your face. I've Got my thumb against the seam of this old denim jacket, the one you draped around me through every emotional racket. I'm pulling at a loose thread, watching it grow long, just like the steady unraveling of where we both went wrong. It started with a whisper, just a tiny jagged tear. Now I'm coming apart at the edges, and you're no longer here. I'm fraying the hem of everything we used to be, tugging at the fibers that tied your heart to me. It's a slow motion undo in a tangled pile of blue. I'm dismantling the fabric of a life I spent with you. Every stitch I loosen is a memory I let go, watching the integrity of our story start to show. Yeah, the colors are all bleeding and the pattern is a mess, fraying the hem of our tattered happiness. I see the indigo dye stain the tips of my pale skin, a bruised color reminder of the shape we're in. I could grab a needle and try to mend the gap, but I'm lost in the wilderness without a cartographic map. You left a gap in the weave, a hole I can't ignore. Now I'm just sweeping the lint of us across the hardwood floor. They say the stress looks better, that the damage adds a soul, but I'm just a silhouette falling down a rabbit hole. The tension in the warp and weft finally had to snap, leaving me with scraps of lace inside a lonely laugh. Yeah, I'm fraying the hem of everything we used to be, tugging at the fibers that tied your heart to me. It's a slow motion undo in a tangled pile of blue. I'm dismantling the fabric of a life I spent with you. Every stitch I loosen is a memory I let go, watching the integrity of our story start to show. Yeah, the colors are all bleeding and the pattern is a mess, fraying the hem of our tattered happiness. Just a handful of thread and a heart full of lead. One more pull and the seam is gone. I'm standing naked in the cold gray dawn, unraveling, fraying. Just a loose strand in the palm of my hand, fraying the hem. I'm standing in the foyer where the floorboards meet the dark, tracing the perimeter of a cold and dying spark. You didn't have to shout, you didn't have to slam the door. You just looked right through me like I wasn't there anymore. It was a fleeting shiver, a brief and heavy weight, the silent execution of a long contested fate. I'm anchored to the carpet, unable to break free from the moment that your eyes finally gave up on me. And it's the gravity of a glance pulling me apart, the heaviest collision of a shattered heart. One look that says goodbye, one flicker that goes cold. More pain than all the stories that we ever told. I'm falling through the orbit of everything we knew, crushed by the velocity of being passed by you. A single second stolen, a lifetime out of chance, drowning in the gravity of a glance. The light in the hallway is stark and it's mean, exposing the static that's rising between. You used to see the colors, you used to see the glow. Now you're just a refraction of the man I used to know. That unspoken sentence, that blank and hollow stare, it weighs more than the silence we were forced to share. They say the eyes are windows, but tonight they're just walls. seconds stolen, a lifetime out of chance, drowning in the gravity of a yes, the gravity of a glance pulling me apart, the heaviest collision of a shattered heart. One look that says goodbye, one flicker that goes cold, more pain than all the stories that we ever told. I'm falling through the orbit of everything we knew, crushed by the velocity of being passed by you. A single second stolen, a lifetime out of chance, drowning in the gravity of a glance. Don't look back, I'm already gone, a shadow in the doorway. At the break of dawn, gravity heavy, staring at the floor. Glance, goodbye. Good glance. I'm standing in the pharmacy under humming white light, looking for a remedy to get me through the night. There's no purple swelling, no broken skin to show, just the internal wreckage of a crushing blow. I checked the bathroom mirror, I searched every limb, but the damage is hidden in the absence of him. You didn't leave a mark that a doctor could see, but you rewrote the chemistry of everything in me. And it's an invisible bruise looming deep in the dark, a colorless stain on a shattered heart. I'm flinching at nothing, shaking in the hall, waiting for the other shoe to finally fall. It's a silent trauma awaiting my chest, a wound that won't heal and won't let me rest. Yeah, the world sees a smile, but I've got too much to lose, living with an invisible bruise. The coffee's getting cold on the nightstand ledge. I'm balancing my sanity on a razor's edge. Every tender memory is a jagged nerve, a collision with a future I didn't deserve. I apply the concealer, draw on the mask. Surviving the silence is the hardest task. You can't ice a feeling, you can't bandage a ghost. It's the ache in the quiet that hurts the most. I'm a map of the impact, tender and sore, from the moment your hand left the handle of the door. Color watching dust move settle on the stories we once told. I caught my own expression in the silverback glass, but the girl looking back is a ghost of the past. The cracks run like rivers through my hollow eyes, a topographic map of all our bitter goodbyes. I try to smooth the edges of this jagged silhouette, but the more I try to fix it, the deeper the regret. And I'm a shattered reflection, a portrait in pieces, trying to find the rhythm as the static increases. I'm a mosaic of maybe in a shimmering lost, counting every heartbeat and the heavy cost. You took the centerpiece and left the splinter frame. Now the glass doesn't even recognize my name. Yeah, I'm distorted and blue, a lonely direction, just a shattered reflection. There's a spider web fracture where I used to see your face, a tangled void that I can't quite erase. I'm applying my mascara with a trembling hand in a house that's built on shifting sand. The mercury is bleeding from the jagged lines, like the blood red ink on our divorce designs. I could sweep it all away and buy a shiny new view, but I'm terrified of the silence if I lose a part of you. So I haunt the hallway, glued to the floors, a prisoner of the broken, unwritten laws. I'm a shattered reflection, a portrait in pieces, trying to find the rhythm as the static increases. I'm a mosaic of maybe in a shimmering lost, counting every heartbeat and the heavy cost. You took the centerpiece and left the splinter frame. Now the glass doesn't even recognize my name. Yeah, I'm distorted and blue, a lonely direction, just a shattered reflection. Don't look too close or you'll see the ghost. The girl in the mirror is the one I miss the most, falling apart, refracting the pain, shattered, just shattered. Goodbye. The grandfather clock is holding its breath in the hall as the silver blue shadows start climbing the wall. I'm sitting alone in your overstuffed chair, twinning a ghost of your scent in my hair. The world is asleep in a blanket of gray, but I'm wide awake watching us fade away. I've inherited silence, I've inherited gloom from the hollow and echoing space of this room. I'm the heir to the starlight Unpolished old spoons beneath the indifferent and hollow-eyed moons. There's a lineage here of regret and of shame, and I'm the only one left who still carries the name. I tuck in the shadows and kiss them goodnight, waiting for gravity to put out the light. My sisters are twilight and dust, they both fled, leaving me guardian of things that we said. I govern the seconds between 3 and 4 when you're not here anymore. Yeah, I am midnight's youngest daughter, cradled in the dark, searching the ashes for one dying spark. I'm the child of the absence, the queen of the void, keeping the relics of what we destroyed, while the rest of the city is dreaming of gold. I'm wrapped in the velvet of stories untold. Yeah, the sun doesn't know me and the dawn is my slaughter. I am midnight's youngest daughter. 12 is gone, 1 is past. I'm the one who was built to last in the quiet, in the deep, before the world wakes from sleep. Youngest daughter. Youngest daughter. Midnight tape. Goodbye. I'm sitting on the floorboards of our empty living room, watching dust motes dancing in the afternoon gloom. I found that vintage record player, the one with the old veneer, the one you said would play a song for every coming year. I dropped the tone, I'm gently, but the vinyl's got a scar, a jagged little canyon showing exactly where we are. The rotation's steady, but the frequencies are wrong. I'm stuck inside the echoes of a 3-minute song, and I'm the needle in the groove, jumping back to the start, trying to play the harmony of a broken down heart. I keep repeating the same mistake, the same melodic line, thinking if I play it enough I can make you mine. But the static's getting louder and the rhythm won't move. I'm just a lonely diamond lost, needle in the groove. I remember when the audio was warm and velvet deep, before the promises we made were impossible to keep. Now the skips are getting violent, it's a stutter in the track, a high fidelity reminder that you aren't coming back. I should lift the stylus, I should let the silence reign, but I'm addicted to the warping familiar kind of pain. The RPMs are spinning at a dizzying velocity, but I'm caught in the clutch of our shared animosity. It's a circular purgatory, a hissing black hole, taking every vibration and shredding my soul. Keep gallery of air. I'm loving the ghost who's no longer there. The geometry of us has collapsed in the dark, leaving nothing but shadows and a flickering spark. And it's a negative space kiss in the hall. I'm leaning on nothing, starting to fall. I'm closing my eyes just to feel the outline of the shape of your lips where they used to be mine. It's a sculpture of silence, a vacuum of blue, drowning in the void that I filled with you. A bittersweet echo, a shadowed caress, just a negative space kiss. The closet is hollow, your coats are all gone, but the hanger's still shaking in the cold gray dawn. I'm learning the contours of everything lost, calculating absence and the infinite cost. I sit on your side of the tumbled blue sheets and listen for the heartbeat that never repeats. They say space is just distance, that time is a cure, but the emptiness feels so heavy and pure. It's a mold of your spirit, a cast of your frame, in a house that has finally forgotten my name. Yeah, it's a negative space kiss in the hall. I'm leaning on nothing, starting to fall. I'm closing my eyes just to feel the outline of the shape of your lips where they used to be mine. It's a sculpture of silence, a vacuum of blue, drowning in the void that I filled with you. A bittersweet echo, a shadow caress, just a negative space kiss. Yeah, it's a negative space kiss in the hall. I'm leaning on nothing and starting to fall. I'm closing my eyes just to feel the outline. Now I say negative space. I'm leafing through the pages of the book of Matthew, looking for a verse that might explain the path you took. Between the thin red ribbons and the gold-leafed edge, I found the violet that we picked beside the ledge. It's paper thin and fragile, lost its vibrant hue, a ghost of the afternoon. I still belong to you. The ink is black and steady, the promises are old, but the blossom in the margin is a story left untold. Now we're just pressed flowers in a Bible on the shelf, a memory I'm hiding even from my heavy self, flattened by the weight of the words we used to pray, tried and dead and delicate, tucked so far away. We're a Sunday morning shadow, stained glass kind of blue, just some pressed flowers and the ghost of me and you. Your thumbprints on the cover, your name is on the fly. I'm searching for a mercy that could tell me why. I keep the book closed tight so the petals don't fall out, but the silence in the chapel is beginning to scream and shout. You're a chapter I have finished, you're a lesson I have learned, but I'm still haunted by the pages just flowers and the ghost of me and you. They say that love is patient. They say that love is kind, but they don't mention the wreckage that it leaves behind. I'm pinning down the heartache like a specimen of grief, trapped inside the scripture, looking for relief. Close the cover slowly. Rest your hands upon the spine. I'll keep your memory frozen in a different space and time. Just a petal in the proverbs, just a sigh in the Psalms. I'm tracing the outlines of where you used to lay. The silence is a way that won't wash away. We were a novel, 1,000 pages deep, but now I'm just a secret that you didn't want to keep. I'm staring at the ink, watching it run dry, looking for the moment we stopped asking why. I thought we were a story with no end in sight, but you were already turning off the light, and now we're just a punctuation of a long goodbye, an exclamation point for every time we cry, a comma in the hallway where you hesitated to stay, a question mark left hanging as you walked away. My heart is just a period, heavy and cold, a final little dot on the story outgrowing oversold, just a punctuation of a sigh. I go to text you, then I see the ghost of typing, the 3 little dots where my hope is always hiding, but the screen goes black and the room feels small. You're a book on the shelf that I'm scared to recall. We used to be a sentence that never had to pause. Now I'm just the effect of an on-cause, and now we're just the punctuation of a long goodbye, an exclamation point for every time we cry, and now we're just the punctuation of a long goodbye, an exclamation point for every time we cry, a comma in the hallway where you hesitated to stay, a question mark left hanging as you walked away. My heart is just a period, heavy and cold, a final little dot on a story we outgrew and oversold, just a punctuation of a sigh, parentheses, the things we never said, a colon waiting for a life we'll never lead. Instead I'm rewriting the margins, I'm editing the pain, but I can't find a syntax to make you love me again. Chapters, no more lines, just the space between the words we couldn't find. side. I'm sitting with a high tide meets the silver sand, holding a handful of nothing in my shaking hand. The moon is pulling at the ocean, a heavy ancient chain, and I'm just a girl trying to negotiate with the rain. You said we were an anchor, you said we'd never drift, but the shoreline changed its mind and the continental shift left me standing on a cliffside, watching your white sail fade into the fog of a winter gale. I'm humming to the rhythm of the crashing on the rocks while I'm picking at the rusted heart inside this wooden box. And it's a slow water lullaby singing me to sleep in a bed of kelp and coral where the secrets all keep. The waves are washing over the places where we lay, and the foam is scrubbing every I love you away. It's a cold and briny comfort, a blue and lonely deep. I'm giving all the promises I couldn't afford to keep. Yeah, the ocean's got a heavy heart, and baby, so do I. Close your eyes and listen to this saltwater lullaby. I found a sea glass fragment, smooth and bottle green. The sharp edges are gone, like a part of the machine that used to cut me open every time I breathed your name. Now I'm just a dull reflection of a dying flame. The gulls are screaming sorry to the empty open sky, and I'm learning how to let the current pass me by. They say the sea is a healer, that it takes what you give, but it's a graveyard for the life that we were supposed to live. I'm treading water, baby, but the shore is getting far, and I'm looking for a lighthouse that forgot where we are. Just a little bit of sky. Good night to my saltwater lullaby underneath the blue. Without for your hand before I remember I can't have it. The kitchen is a museum of the way we used to be before the earth dissolved back into you and me. I try to speak your name to let the memory out, but it tastes like the ocean in the back of my mouth. Every word I practiced, every line I saved is sinking in the wake of the way you behaved. Now I'm just speaking in syllables of salt, counting up the minutes, tracing every fold. A bitter little language dripping off my tongue, the ghost of every love song we never quite finished or sung. Each tear is a letter, a sting against my skin, writing out the ending where you wouldn't let me in. Just bitter, broken syllables of soul. You left your favorite sweater in a heavy kind of quiet. My heart's a riot cell, and I'm trying not to buy it. I went to say I love you, but the love came out as lost. I'm calculating everything and shivering at the cost. The vocabulary of leaving is the only thing I know. A vocabulary of water, watching everything go. Now I'm just speaking in syllables of soul, counting up the minutes, tracing every fold. A bitter little language dripping off my tongue, the ghost of every love song we never quite finished or sung. Each tear is a letter, a sting against my skin, writing out the ending where you wouldn't let me in. Just bitter, broken syllables of soul. One for the promises, two for the always, three for the empty space echoing in the hallways. It's a language for the lonely, it's a dialect of grief, and there isn't a word that can bring me relief. I'm crying out your name, but it's just white noise and bright. One more crystalline word, one more jagged line. Syllables, syllables of salt, syllables of salt. I'm staring at the time, frozen at 4:02. The last bit of data connecting me to you. The call-ended banner is a neon guillotine, severing the air and everything in between. I'm holding the plastic against my burning cheek, still feeling the vibration of the words you didn't speak. The dial tone is a flat line in a quiet, empty room, and the silence is a shroud inside a digital tomb. I'm terrified to lock the screen, to let the black set in, because once the light is gone, where do I begin? And I'm living in the afterlife of a phone call tonight, in the hollow hum and echo of a fading lithium light. I'm haunting my own heart. what you said. Searching for a heartbeat in the wires and the thread. You hung up the receiver, but I'm still on the line, wandering the frequencies of a life that isn't mine. Yeah, the connection's dead, but the ghost is standing tall in the afterlife of a phone call. I'm scrolling through the call logs, a history of us before the signals turn to static and to dust. I wonder if you've already set your phone aside while I'm drowning in the latency of a heart that tried. The radio waves are empty, they've carried you away, leaving me with nothing but the things I couldn't say. Is there a cloud for the whispers that fell through the cracks? A server for the I love yous that we can't take back. I'm just a signal searching for a tower in the rain, transmitting my sorrow across a broken plane. Searching for a heartbeat in the wires and the thread. You hung up the receiver, but I'm still on the line, wandering the frequencies of a life that isn't mine. Yeah, the connection's dead, but the ghost is standing tall in the afterlife of a phone call. Dark, the spark is gone. I'm sitting in the shadows, waiting for the dawn. Click. Just the afterlife of a phone call. Goodbye. Staring at the ledger of the years we spent, subtracting all the favor from the way you went. I divide the silence by the coffee in my cup, trying to find the moment the numbers didn't add up. I carry the weight of us both, but you were a variable, breaking every hold. I plotted our future on a graph in my head, but I'm left with a zero in this empty bed. Oh, it's just the cold hard math of a mistake, counting every promise that you chose to break. 2 hearts minus 1 equals nothing but blue. I'm solving for the reason why I'm not enough for you. An equation of sorrow, some of regret, trying to calculate how much I need to forget. That's the math of a mistake. There's a geometry to how you turned your back, a sharp 45-degree angle off the track. I thought we increased attention, starting to descend. The probability of us was always getting low, but I ignored the logic because I couldn't let you go. Oh, it's just a cold heart, mouth of a mistake, counting every promise that you chose to break. Two hearts minus one equals nothing but blue. I'm solving for the reason why I'm not enough for you. An equation of sorrow, a sum of regret, trying to calculate how much I need to forget. That's the math of a mistake. Long division of the soul, bit by bit. I'm looking for a remainder, some peace that'll fit. But the more I calculate, the more I find you were a negative value I left in my mind. No common denominator, no balance in the line, just a lonesome integer running out of time. Equals just me, that's the math of a mistake. I found your note on the counter, right beside the keys. The kind of sorry that brings a woman to her knees. You left the porch light on like a cruel little joke, while I'm standing in the kitchen, breathing in the smoke of every bridge we burned and every dream we spun. I'm looking at the damage and the way that you won. I should be screaming, I should be throwing plates, but I'm just cataloging all our twisted traits. So here's a thorny thank you for the way you let me down, for being the king of the cold and hollow town. Thank you for the nights I spent crying on the floor, for teaching me exactly what a heart is really for. It's a jagged little blessing, a gift wrapped in a scar, a thorny thank you for being exactly who you are. You taught me how to whisper when I wanted to yell. You showed me that a home can be a velvet kind of hell. I'm grateful for the silence, I'm grateful for the lies, because they finally stripped the scales right off my eyes. Every sharp remark and every cold distance stare was just a brick in the wall that I built to get me there. So here's a thorny thank you for the way you let me down, for being the king of a cold and hollow town. Thank you for the nights I spent crying on the floor, for teaching me exactly what a heart is really for. It's a jagged little blessing, a gift wrapped in a scar, a thorn for being exactly who you are. Don't worry about the bleeding, the blood will surely dry. I'm just learning how to breathe without a reason why. I'm planning all these insults in a row inside my head, and I'll grow a garden of the things we never said. Much obliged for the mess. I'm finding my power in this beautiful distress. Thank you for leaving. Thank you for the thorns. I'm standing in the garden where we planted all the seeds, but the flowers that entangled into bitter weeds. I'm tracing the initials we carved into the bark, a faded little marker in the gathering dark. We didn't need a graveyard to prove the love was dead, just the silence in the hallway and the heavy words we said. The sunlight hits the granite of this hollow kitchen floor, where we don't dance and don't believe in always anymore. And it's a tombstone for two, carved in cold gray stone, the epitaph of us that I'm reading all alone. Here lies the laughter, the promises and grace, buried underneath the static of this empty living space. I'm laying with the memories on a marriage out of time, staring at the jagged fault lines of your heart and mine. Yeah, it's quiet as a prayer and bitter as the dew, a tombstone for two. The closet's like a catacomb, your shirts are hanging still, a shrine to every dream we couldn't bend to fit our will. I polished the silverware until I saw my shattered face, haunting the corners of this desecrated place. We signed the papers with an ink that's bloodshot red. Now I'm mourning everything we never truly said. It's not a tragedy if no one's left to cry, but the silence is a witness to the death of you and I'm kneeling at the threshold, begging for the light to extinguish every memory of our final fight. Carved in cold gray stone, the epitaph of us that I'm reading all alone. Here lies the laughter, the promises and grace, buried underneath the static of this empty living space. I'm laying with her memories on a marriage out of time, staring at the jagged fault lines of your heart and mine. Yeah, it's quiet as a prayer and bitter as the dew, a tombstone for two. Rest in peace. years of shadow, one night of rain, tombstone for two. Goodbye. I'm wearing your old flannel like a suit of rusted armor, walking through the fields where the air is getting calmer. The garden that we planted is a tangled silver mess. Nature taking back the parts of us I can't confess. The sunflowers are bowing, they're heavy with the rain, like they're the only witnesses to this kind of pain. I'm rooted in the dirt where we used to run free, but the sun went down and took the you out of me. Now I'm just a wildflower widow in a coat of grey, waiting for a season that'll wash the ghost away. I'm blooming in the shadows, I'm growing through the cracks, left with all the memories that I can't take back. Petals on the floor like a dress I never wore. I'm the color of the heartbreak knocking at the door. Just a wildflower widow. There's a lavender scent clinging to the empty hall, and the ivy's climbing higher, trying to hide it all. I used to be a rose, kept safe behind your glass. Now I'm just a weed, watching all the hours pass. The wind is humming melodies we used to try to hum, but the lyrics are all buried and my fingers are all numb. Now I'm just a wildflower widow in a coat of grey, waiting for a season that'll wash the ghost away. I'm blooming in the shadows, I'm growing through the cracks, left with all the memories that I can't take back. Petals on the floor like a dress I never wore. I'm the color of the heartbreak knocking at the door. Just a wildflower widow. Don't pick me, don't keep me in a vase on the shelf. I'm learning how to wither all by myself. Scatter my heart where the meadow meets the sky, where the beautiful things go when they're ready to die. The frost is coming early, the stems are turning brown. I'm laying all this heavy love deep into the ground. Wildflower widow, let the winter take me now.